The Starfighters and Sidekicks welcome you to this special episode.
All right, welcome back. You might have noticed this is not your normal show that you're used to seeing. We have a very special episode today. We're doing a crossover episode, the Starfighters and the Sidekick podcast collision. We are here with our friends Marcellus and Nathan. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Nathan, how about you, bro?
Doing amazing, man. I'm looking forward to what we got for today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. And we can't forget him. He's celebrating 6 years happily shared with his wife, Jake Koskela. Congrats again. How are you doing?
Thanks. Doing good. Yeah, not today. I did the podcast today and it's tomorrow. So I don't want people to think that I'm ditching the anniversary for this. But, no, glad to be here.
Well, you're a good man, bro.
All right.
All right. You may have noticed we are going to be doing a special Star Wars episode today, probably one of our favorite subjects to discuss. But to kick things off, I'm going to pass it over to Marcellus. Tell us what's going on today.
Hey, what's up, everybody who is viewing this video? All right, so we're going to be talking about Star Wars, the most powerful Jedi. You know, our opinions on who the most powerful Jedi is. Some it may be different, some it may be the same, but it's going to be a great conversation. And then afterwards, we'll be talking about the most powerful Sith, you know, probably like 2 or 3 characters from the Sith. And then we're going to move on to non-Force sensitive characters in this conversation. But that's going to be part 2, which you'll see in the Sidekicks podcast channel. So if you want to see part 2, go to our YouTube channel and you'll watch it there. But part 1 is this right now. Okay. So we want to get started with the most powerful Jedi, guys.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go. All right, so most powerful Jedi. All right, we'll just like do maybe 2 or 3 characters. Now, listen, everybody, Jedi, I mean, come on, they are pretty powerful, aren't they? But there are just some Jedi that just stand out, you know, to where you're just like, oh my goodness, like he or she did an amazing job, has gone through so many battles, went through, you know, a lot of different challenges in their lives. So yeah, let's get right into it. And you know what, I'll start off first, guys. You know, usually with these discussions, you know, I kind of like to go last, you know, save the best for last, but you know what, I'll go first with this one. All right, powerful Jedi. You know what, for all you viewers out there who know me, you know, close friends and family members, I'm going to be biased here. I got to go with my girl, Ahsoka Tano, everybody. Now, you might be like, Marcella, she ain't a Jedi. But, bro, she was a Jedi. All right? So we're going to count this. All right? So, listen. Why is she so
And we don't know.
powerful?
Maybe she will be again, too.
Yeah, hey, yeah, right? You never know. But why, you know, is she so powerful, right? Well, she was trained by Anakin, you know, who is pretty powerful, too. And she learned a lot through him. I mean, she also learned a lot through Plo Koon and other people in Star Wars. She has gone through so many battles, and I mean, she can stand up to the elite people in Star Wars, man. You know, and I mean, yeah, you know, she's just so powerful. And then like watching her grow up too and mature. It was just so fascinating. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't even like, you know, have that teenager personality anymore. And I'm sure a lot of us didn't really like that kind of personality, you know, but after a while, you know, you just saw that she was just more wise and she just made, you know, better decisions in her life. So that's why I feel like she is powerful. And then also I got to go with my guy, Kit Fisto, man. Like, dude, this dude is so legendary. He was part of the Jedi Council, right? and the Jedi Council is formed of, you know, the most powerful Jedi in the whole entire galaxy. And not only is this man capable of fighting on land, but also underwater, guys. Like, he is so OP when he's fighting underwater, man. Like, there was a couple of episodes in the Clone Wars, and he appeared in those episodes, and just the way he fights underwater, man, it's just so awesome. And there was even a time where he was fighting against General Grievous, and he almost just, oh man, just almost killed him, you know. But Obi-Wan, you know, had the edge over General Grievous. But still, like, after seeing Kit, I was just like, man, yo, this guy should have like more content. You know what I mean? Because like I would be afraid of him, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, if I was a bad guy and I go into like my ship or something and I go underwater and he's chasing me, then I'll be like, okay, we're done. You know what I mean? Like, we're done. Because, you know, he's just so powerful. And then I also gotta give it to Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was the master of both Skywalkers, Anakin and Luke. He defeated Darth Maul, and he was also a survivor of Order 66. And, you know, he also defeated Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, in Revenge of the Sith. He had the high ground, didn't he? So, so yeah, you know, and also another thing too, you know, I got to give him props for oh man, you know, for him being like super strong mentally too, you know, after all that was going on, Order 66, and then Anakin turned to the dark side. I mean, you know, you can obviously imagine that Obi-Wan was facing, you know, a lot of depression and just thinking like, okay, what could I have done better? But, you know, he saw hope in Luke, you know, and he was able to train Luke. And I just can't wait to see what's going to happen with the new Star Wars series of Kenobi. So yeah, you know, I gotta give props to Obi-Wan, Kit Fisto, and my girl Ahsoka Tano, you know, for being one of the most powerful Jedi all over the galaxy. And so that's all that I have to say for the Jedi. All right, so let's see who I want to go next with this list, man. I guess I got to give it to my other sidekick, Nathan, man. And, you know, we've had some disagreements in the past, but I would like to hear this, you know? So go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Well, this is in no particular order. This is just in general for me anyways. I don't have a ranking system for this, but I'm gonna have to give it to my boy Yoda. Yoda as one of the most powerful Jedi. Think about it. He lived to be 900 years old. And 800 of those years, he was basically part of the Republic, the Jedi Order. And so that's a lot of time to be learning and teaching. And he's the head of the Jedi Council. And he's taught Mace Windu, Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, Kit Fisto, all those guys, and more. He's taught all of them all that they know. And he even was regarded by many of the other Jedi as the most powerful Jedi alive at the time. And probably even in history. And not only because he has such a close connection to the Force that makes him powerful, but also he fought Count Dooku as an old man. Right. And he absorbed, that's the first time I've ever seen like absorbing the Sith lightning in that way, right? And he did it the same against Palpatine, and he's just a master with the lightsaber. And yeah, I mean, yes, of course, you know, Order 66, and he felt ashamed and he exiled himself, but you got to give him props, man. He's done so much, and he's just an OG. Really. And then next I have on my list is Luke as one of the most powerful as well. Think about it. He only learned about the Force when he was like in his late teens by Obi-Wan. And that is way more older than Anakin. And the Jedi Council thought that Anakin at like 9 or something years old was too old to be taught. Whereas Luke, he got the teachings like real quick. He was mastering using the Force and blocking the little laser bolts, and he destroyed the Death Star using the Force, right? and he became
Sure.
dude. He became like
Yeah,
just
I
a
know.
prime
Yeah.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Saw him in Mandalorian season 2 finale. That's like prime Luke as well.
Yeah, not the Last Jedi, Luke.
Yeah, that's different. That's writing. That's
Yeah,
writing's fault.
pretty much.
That's different.
Yeah.
But
I
like,
have an argument to that real quick.
okay.
That actually supports Nathan's pick here because, obviously it was different and I prefer like the portrayal of him in Mandalorian.
Mhm.
But what Rian Johnson was still trying to show us is how powerful he was, and basically that he was, like Nathan saying, one of the most powerful Jedi. And also another argument could be made too is when it comes to being a Jedi and what that all means, like keepers of the peace and being more on the defensive side than on the aggressive side. There's not much more you can do than projecting yourself over there and keeping the peace and not actually fighting. It is, if you think about it, a really Jedi thing to do.
Yeah, and that goes along with him kind of taking on little traits of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was known as the negotiator. He would always want to talk first, and if he needed to, then he would draw the lightsaber, right? He did that with Jabba in Return of the Jedi, right? And he ended up being the master Jedi of his own Jedi like academy, basically. And so that's just that for now. There's plenty more, but I'll just leave it at that. And the third spot was just super tough. I had like 5 others I was trying to think of. Like they're just all so good. But I'm gonna have to give it Galen Merrick.
Whoa.
I'm not sure if we're putting non-canon stuff in here. Because
Hey, go for
now
it.
technically he's not canon. But and here's the thing: those that don't know Galen Merrick, have you ever heard of the Star Wars Force Unleashed?
Oh, yeah.
Main character there. He was known as a Sith apprentice to Darth Vader when he was young, and then later he turned to the light, to the good side, basically, and he became a Jedi. He actually was a Jedi, so he's both. So he's kind of on both sides, but he was amazingly talented using the Force and very, very strong. In the games, he literally took down Star Destroyers using the Force. As a Sith, was basically like almost like an Inquisitor hunting other Jedi,
Mhm.
and he ended up killing other Jedis that were in hiding. So, and top ones like Shak Ti and stuff like that. So yeah, he was very strong as well. And if you haven't played the games, they're pretty amazing. And they're not canon, but it doesn't matter. It's still fun and cool to see what the story was back then before the whole Disney stuff. But yeah. And just to let you know, my other choices was like Obi-Wan, Mace Windu, Qui-Gon, Anakin before he became Darth Vader, and Rey.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rey. All
Yes.
right. Well, you know what? So we'll discuss about that another day. We'll discuss about that another day, man. Like that could probably be on like a great debate episode, Sidekicks. But anyways, no, nice list though, Nathan. You picked some really good people, and especially like the one from the character from the Force Unleashed game. That was really good, really good. We gotta put these non-canon stuff in here, man. Gotta show some love to these guys. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of work.
Yeah, for real. All right.
And Disney still pulls from like cherry picks from old canon, from Legends,
sure.
and so characters like Galen, they can still become part of our newer canon that we know today as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I gotta go to my boy Jake, the AOTC lover, Attack of the Clones guy. All right, Jake, who you got, man?
All right. Well, so far your lists are all right. I like Nathan's a bit.
Okay.
But for the top, I gotta go with what he said before with Luke Skywalker. I mean, sure, you can debate his portrayal in Episode 8. I did not like it per se, and I felt like it made him look very weak. I mean, if we're going to non-canon, this dude once took a black hole and collapsed it in on himself using the Force and lived to tell about it, right? But now he just makes a little projection and it kills him. I don't like that at all, right? But again, in Mandalorian, just really showed how powerful he was. I mean, those are some good guys on that ship, like Mando and Bo-Katan. They can all fight, but they were scared out of their minds of those Death Troopers, right? And he treated them like they were just trash, just like crushing a can, right? It was nothing to him. That's who the real Luke is. And I mean, he's been trained by the best. I mean, what better could you get than Obi-Wan and Yoda, who coincidentally would be my number 2 and number 3 picks. I had to put Obi-Wan a little bit higher than Yoda, just as a fighter, as someone who's strong. Because Yoda, when we've seen him in the movies, right, fought Count Dooku, he did good. Fought Sidious in episode 3, did good. He doesn't finish the job, right?
Ooh.
You got that's why you got to go with Obi-Wan.
Well,
I mean,
finishing the job meaning by
that. I mean, that's not his fault.
Jedi
He finished. He finished the job in episode 1. I mean, that was a freaking miracle that Maul came back, right? I don't blame him for that one. Grievous, you finished the job, right? Anakin, all right. I guess he didn't finish the job, but close enough, right? Again, miracle that dude lived. But he finishes, right? He doesn't run. He doesn't just let him run away. He makes sure he gets things done. But just again, with his track record of who he's fought, I mean, you have to say he's victorious in every single one of his battles. He let himself be taken by Vader. So, I mean, just for what he's done, and also had to deal with training Anakin, which is no easy task, right? I mean, Anakin, of course, was strong on his own, but I mean, by the time his apprentice was 22, he was basically a Jedi Master, not allowed to be a Jedi Master, right? Whereas Obi-Wan, at his rate, he was still a Padawan in episode 1 when he was like 25. So he's definitely has every aspect of being not only the great warrior, but as you guys were saying, a diplomat, someone who can talk his way out of a situation, and really was a man of peace also, and also what an excellent teacher he was. But then again, yeah, my number 3 would have to go to Yoda. Again, someone who's not known for fighting, but I mean, he can if he wants to. But just his connection with the Force, being these mentors to people even after he had passed, you got to go with these guys. I mean, sure, they're like the face of the franchise a little bit, but hey, normal times, I mean, a lot of times the face is going to be the most powerful. That's why they're the face, right? So, yeah, a little bit safe picks in my opinion, but hey, there's a reason why they're so popular, is because they're so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Well, good explanation on each of those characters, Jake. All right, last but not least, we got Dom Moon Heist, bro. Show us what you got, man. Tell us.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised that we all put Obi-Wan, because I think I've told you guys he's become my favorite character in Star Wars. And so I have him on the top of my list. And I don't really feel like he's one of the more obvious. I think the 2 most obvious are Anakin and Luke. I think, according to George Lucas, those are the 2 most powerful Jedi. But some reasons for Obi-Wan, I know we touched on a little bit, but I think one of the biggest reasons that we want to mention too is not only is he a strong warrior, but Obi-Wan understands the mental game behind combat. And, you know, we see this when it comes to his battle with Darth Maul in episode 1. He leads with aggression after they're in that hallway. He does lead with aggression after Maul kills Qui-Gon. Then he gets put in a bad situation. He's able to pull off that maneuver that Anakin couldn't pull off in episode 3. He's able to pull it off because he waits. He's patient. That's another great quality about him. He's patient when it comes to battle. And then he's able to take down Maul because he approaches it with that patience and with a sense of peace and not anger. And so that's another reason why he's an incredible Jedi, and being able to channel and work with the light side of the Force. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen this in the behind the scenes of episode 3, but George Lucas talks about how, in Revenge of the Sith, Anakin is at what he would say a level 8, a level 9, in terms of power, in terms of, a fighter. And he says Obi-Wan is barely just barely under him at a level 8. And again, he's able to take down Anakin, who is one of the most powerful Jedi, one of the most powerful Sith when he becomes Darth Vader. And he's able to take him down again because also, again, he understands the mental game, but he's become very experienced. He knows what he's doing. And then I just love it. I talk about it all the time now, but he's basically saying you can't use that move on me. He's like, I invented that. You know what I mean? You can't just try that on me. So
Right.
That's another reason. And yeah, of course, just a great master overall too. Anakin, and he even helps Ahsoka as well, and of course Luke Skywalker. So really got to hand it to Obi-Wan. That would be my first pick. All the props to him. And then I guess I would say I was also going to pick Luke as well. I pretty much have a good time with him in every movie that he's in, and enjoy pretty much all the different portrayals. But again, I do prefer the newest portrayal that we got from him in Mandalorian. Again, I do think that's the Luke Skywalker and the side of him that we all deserve to see more of. Also, a call back to some of the old legends, the old comics and novels. Something that's really cool, an idea and a concept that I wish we had seen, but that in old canon, the Emperor comes back as a clone, which we see they cherry pick that as well, but in a different sense. And so Luke actually ends up going to the dark side, but in like an undercover sort of way. He lets himself fall to the dark side so that he can essentially kill the Emperor from the inside. And then his plan is to go back to the light side. I thought that would have been really cool to see something like that too. But obviously, the timing and everything of the movies didn't call for it. But yeah, also, George has said that Luke's potential as, a Force user is on the same level as Anakin. So he is, unquestionably one of the most powerful Jedi. And we've definitely seen that from the movies. And then last pick, I think I'm going to go with Mace Windu. Something really interesting about Mace Windu is that he actually walks this line. Not a lot of people know this, but he walks this line when it comes to the dark side and the light side. And this is in new canon, but essentially he's able to channel some dark force power and channel it into a positive way, into a light way, and use that against his opponents. And like when he's fighting the Emperor, and also, that move that we see him do when he pushes the lightning back with his sabers. And we also see Rey do it in episode 9. According to new canon, that is a particular ability that only Mace and now Rey can do. And it's supposed to be, a very technical ability and a powerful move. So, yeah, and then he just has a reputation as being one of the most powerful, and has this good reputation all around as a strong warrior. So gonna give it to Mace as well, and that's what I got.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
well, that's a good list.
Mace,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna add a little point there along with Dom, is that Mace is considered the second most powerful next to Yoda in the movie.
Yeah,
I think in Attack of the Clones, I think they mentioned that he is the second most. So yeah, there you go. All right, continue.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if Disney did like a prequel of Mace Windu's life. I would really like to see that too, because even though I didn't have him on my list, I still consider him one of the most powerful Jedi as well. I just wanted to throw in some other characters in there, just to show them some love. But yeah, I wish that Disney Plus could do a Mace Windu prequel series of of how he became a Jedi and stuff like that. I would love to see that, to get to know more about this character, man, because he is important to in the Star Wars universe. So yeah, so all of you guys, all of you gentlemen, did a fabulous job in your picks. Some I was just like, oh wow, like that was really good. I never really thought about that. But yeah, everybody who's watching this video, let us know in the comments section who you think one of the most powerful Jedi is, or top 3, top 2. Let us know, please, because we would love to hear your opinions. All right, so I'm going to switch it over to Nathan, the other sidekick, and he's going to discuss about the powerful Sith. So, all right, Nathan, take it away, man.
Yes, and the dark side is a pathway that many consider to the unnatural. You know that line.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
I messed up the segue, but anyways, yeah, we're gonna move on to the top Sith, and this is gonna be an interesting discussion. I already can tell we might have a lot of similarities as well, as long as we keep the peace. We don't go too much of the dark side on our discussions, but let's give it to Jake real quick. What are your top Sith?
All right, so at the top, I gotta go with Darth Sidious. I mean, just because he's been doing it for so long and at such an elite level. I mean, he's been there. I mean, since the beginning, episodes 1 through 9, it's all been about him. And just when we've seen what he can do, it's been on a whole nother level. I mean, starting from when he actually showed his physical strength and lightsaber capabilities, taking down 4 Jedi Masters in his room, which basically I think we can all agree he let Mace Windu sort of defeat him in that way to let Anakin go to the dark side, because I have the opinion that he could have taken them all on easily. I mean, he took out 2 masters with 1 strike. Kit Fisto, your boy Marcellus, I mean, he put up a good fight. He got a few blocks in there, but no, he can't even last against this old man, right?
Sorry to interrupt. I believe that they've confirmed that Mace Windu actually could hold his own and actually had the opportunity to kill Sidious.
I mean, I believe he can hold his own, but I would have to say Sidious would
I think it's a little bit of both.
Win that.
I think it's a little bit of both, because like what you're saying, he was almost planning it a little bit too, because he was manipulating Anakin in that situation too.
Exactly. Which again leads to another part of why he's so powerful. His mind, his manipulation, his strategy. I mean, he's been at the top of both sides of the war since the beginning, right? I mean, you see all the jokes about it. It's like, oh, when the Republic defeats the droids, hey, he's a winner either way. Like it doesn't matter, because he's always comes out on top. And so again, in episode 3, we see him battle Yoda. Again, such an incredibly powerful Jedi that Yoda actually had to retreat, because it really was getting nowhere with that, right? Mm-hmm. And then, of course, through episodes 4, 5, 6, we don't see too much of his capabilities, but he is able to defeat Luke, with only Vader turning on him to make him die, right? And then, of course, if you take in the latter movies, which I don't like to play too much into those because I'm not a huge fan, but I mean, it was over the top. Episode 9, what he was able to do with the lightning. How many ships did he take out with his power? I mean, it was crazy what he was actually able to do in that. It was way overpowered. He should have never lost to Rey. She won by pure luck in something that you don't even understand, but whatever. That's another topic. But he has to be at the top of my list. And then probably have to go with my basically favorite character in Anakin or Vader at that time. I guess it's up for debates whether you want to say Anakin was good when he was the most powerful, or he was on the Sith when he was the most powerful. But either way, just him as a whole. I mean, he ruled the galaxy basically for a good, 25 years. He was the one in control. Sidious was just sort of the guy behind the scenes there. And really, nobody could beat him. Luke really didn't have a good shot at beating him either. He just had to play on his emotions there. So even when he wasn't at his peak, I mean, we can only imagine what he could have been at if he didn't get defeated by Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan, unfortunately, just outsmarted him a little bit, even though we can agree probably that Anakin is overall the more powerful Jedi. And then for my third spot, Darth Bane, who is canon actually. So glad they brought him back. He might be on some of your guys' list, but someone who's again done it all, right? So during the Sith and Jedi War, he was basically the last guy standing on the Sith. So that tells you again how good he is, and he sort of reinvented the whole way of the Sith, with there being only two, with a master and an apprentice. And some of his abilities that he was able to do is just insane. I mean, he was an insane fighter, but even when he didn't have a lightsaber, he had these abilities where he could drain the life out of people, and he could power himself up and make his fists like glow with fire and just beat up everybody with his fists, and he doesn't even need a lightsaber, right? He was insane. They said he was so fast that he could block every raindrop with his lightsaber, like, and stay completely dry. Like, he was such a crazy, insane fighter, and that he developed all these crazy new abilities and really set in motion all these people that came after him for what a Sith is truly capable of doing. And he had such a strong tie to the Force too, that he learned the abilities to even transfer bodies. That's how great he was in his connection with the Force. So if we saw a lot more of him, I mean, he could be the number one easily. But just, I mean, hopefully someday we'll be able to see more of him, because he is such an incredible character.
Oh yeah, and dude, that's basically my list. It's like exactly the same. It's like exactly, so all my points, just basically copy paste, and then there you go.
Nice.
But yeah, man, like, just put as my own little pointers though, like with Palpatine, like, yeah, talk about playing the long game. Like, man, he was behind everything. He had all his chess pieces in place, just moving them wherever he needed them to go. He's like that Pixar short, the old guy playing chess by himself. He's literally playing against himself. That's basically what it was. Yeah, man. And yeah, and just how crazy powerful, like, the dark side, bro. Like, it's just insane. And like Jake was saying, his mind, like the strategy and the intellect that he had to manipulate everybody and to put everybody where he needed them to be at, and do certain actions and all that without it even going back, connecting to him, is just insane. And just, he literally, like, tricked the entire galaxy. And so, dude, it's just amazing.
He tricked, again, like you said, the galaxy into giving him supreme power when he was the bad guy that they were fighting against the whole time. I mean, it's insane.
That's
crazy.
Like, insane.
That's like baller moves right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, and then with Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, like, oh man, I like, if you've seen and read the books of the comics and all that stuff, he's done a lot more than in what we've seen in the movies and shows. But like, you just gotta go and read them. Like, the Darth Vader comics are like just amazing. It just really shows how powerful he is. And then, of course, with Darth Bane establishing the rule of two for the Sith, basically, he is the, if you want to think Sith, it's Palpatine and him. Like, he's the one that made it all happen. And the whole, like, Jedi Civil War, the only one to survive, and all that stuff. And like what Jake was mentioning about his abilities and just all the skills he had, just top tier. So yeah, same list again. Good job, bro.
Nice.
All right, we'll move to Dom. What do you have?
Yeah, a little bit similar, but I'm going to start out with Count Dooku. I've been saying that he's a very underrated character, not given enough credit for his background. But basically, I mean, he's not done enough justice in the movies, and I think things would have played out differently if he had understood more. Like, spoiler, but like, we see, like, in season 7 of Clone Wars, Maul understands more so than I think Dooku understood, as far as the plan that the Emperor had. Maul was kind of actually, Darth Maul was supposed to stay Sidious's apprentice for a lot longer than he actually did. And Dooku was essentially betrayed and tricked by Sidious in the end as well. But when he was a Jedi, Dooku had this highly esteemed reputation as the best swordsman, the best lightsaber duelist in the Jedi Order. And we see that, not only does he rival Master Yoda with the lightsaber, but he also rivals him in force power too. He's a very, very powerful Sith Lord and really cool character. I was actually telling Jake, but I started writing like a little short story. I'm also gonna make it into like a RPG campaign, but it's basically based on like a descendant of Count Dooku who is trying to get revenge on the Skywalkers. This is post Episode 9, but yeah, got to give some props to Dooku. And then like Jake and Nathan, I also had Darth Bane on my list. Not going to say too much more about him, but again, the rule of two, obviously has a really high reputation when it comes to setting that in place. And then also we see, I believe he's the only Sith that is able to become like a Sith Force ghost in Clone Wars, and we haven't seen any other Sith Lord do that. And of course, that is another powerful ability that Qui-Gon is able to discover on the light side. So, got to give some props to Darth Bane as well.
Yeah.
And then last on my list, someone who I want to see more of is Darth Plagueis. I don't think we can forget about him, but he trained the Emperor.
Oh, yeah.
So Sidious.
Is he going to be in that new show coming out in the future?
He might be in the Acolyte. Yeah,
okay.
We're hoping so. But also, I'm still not totally convinced that. I think that Snoke was actually meant to be Plagueis from the beginning. I think they changed it. They changed it after a while.
That's a bold statement.
That's a bold statement right there, man.
I mean, a lot of people thought that it was, and honestly, it would have been really sick too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have still been alive.
That would have been crazy too.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
And of course, to that point, he was the one who discovered the power to immortality and to healing. So that's an ability that not only the other Sith desired to have and learn, but also some of the Jedi desired that same ability as well. And not everyone is able to master that, obviously. So Darth Plagueis is definitely in the discussion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, good and interesting putting in Darth Plagueis. Yes, he and Count Dooku. The Count Dooku definitely underrated. It wasn't in our list, Jake's and I's, but we still recognize, game recognized game, So, Marcellus, what do you have, man?
Well, I like all of your picks. I agree that Count Dooku is underappreciated. He's not. I feel like they should do more with his character, give him some more character development. Darth Bane, definitely on top. But okay, so like for my list though, I have the obvious ones: Vader and Sidious. Sidious, he, man, is just watching like the Revenge of the Sith movie and parts of the Clone Wars show. You can just see how much of an evil genius this man was, bro. And then bringing Anakin too, right, into the dark side. See, Sidious treated Anakin, like he was his son. You know what I mean? Sidious was like a father figure to Anakin. Anakin was always, right by him for like any advice. And Sidious was really like the only person that would listen to Anakin, that and trusted in him too. So for him to bring somebody to the dark side, had that rule of two thing and just like messing with the Jedi Council and even the Separatists too, he was like, oh, go kill those aliens and in Mustafar, you know what I mean? He's just like, yeah, we're making a new empire, man. He played both of them, bro. And for him to have that plan of the clones, bro, to put those chips in their head and say execute Order 66, bro, that scene, bro, it still gives me the chills to this day, man. So he he's an evil genius, bro. Evil genius. And honestly, man, if you were to like rank all of the villains in 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 history, you know, of villains, man, I'm talking like with Disney villains, Marvel villains, any villain, you know, in Hollywood or just in pop culture, Sidious has to be in the top three. Top three, you know,
Top three, interesting.
top three. Yeah, yeah, man. The things that he does.
I was
bro,
expecting top 10. Though.
No, top three.
It's big.
Top three. Top
Big.
three, guys. You know, fight me, bro. Like top top three, man. And then with Vader too. Like I totally agree, Nathan. Like read the comic books, bro, because like he's just so powerful. And I know one of our friends, you know, he is a huge fan of Darth Vader, and he tells us stories all the time, you know, based on the comics, man, because there's more that the movies could do with Darth Vader, you know, and because like I love the original trilogy, but you know, when seeing him in like Rogue One, bro, that hallway scene, oh my gosh, man, that was just amazing. That was just an amazing scene. Probably the best scene of Darth Vader in Star Wars movie history, I would have to say, because you know, just like his fighting skills and everything like that, man, he was just super amazing, super powerful. And then for my other one, you know, this was kind of tough too, but I gotta show some love to this guy, man. Darth Maul. Yeah, I have to go with Darth Maul. And he was an apprentice of Sidious, and then, as we all know, in the Phantom Menace, he faced against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. He finished the job against Qui-Gon, R.I.P. to Qui-Gon, and but he didn't finish the job with Obi, as we all know. However, in the Clone Wars series, he was alive, and I was just like, "What? This man is alive? All right, well, let's see what he does," you know. And he just became more stronger, you know, and he sought out revenge. Okay. And I was like, oh, I like this guy's attitude. I really, really do. Like, bro, he went back to his home planet. He took Savage Opress, made him his apprentice, and just like was taking over different planets, including Mandalore, bro. Mandalore. This guy is not even a Mandalorian. He wasn't even born in Mandalore. And he fights against Pre Vizsla, bro. And he's like, I own this place, man. He has a red lightsaber and the dark saber in his hand, bro. And he just rules over Mandalore. I mean, come on. You got to give props to that guy, man, for like, you know, stepping it up. And bro, he always wanted to face against Kenobi. You know? Kenobi, bro. And I mean, like, you know, he did hurt Obi, you know, when he killed Duchess Satine, man. I was like, oh no. And then like, you know, it just kills her. I was like, dang, you know what I mean, bro? He wanted revenge, man. So like those were some of like his top moments. And I can't forget about Rebels too. You know, he had a chance to bring Ezra Bridger into the dark side, bro. And honestly, I would have loved to see that, you know, Ezra and Darth Maul together, man. Because, I mean, before, you know, Ezra was kind of annoying, but I think he would have been so. But you saw some moments of Ezra, man, where he kind of like turned to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, you know, OP, bro. And I was just like, man, Maul is really getting into Ezra's head, bro. And see, Maul is also really good at like manipulating people, kind of like Sidious, not to the level of Sidious, but you know, he's in that tier.
It's
you know
definitely
a
tactic he learned probably from him.
Probably from Sidious, you know. So yeah, man, like, oh man, Maul was just super amazing. Favorite scene from Maul, bro, is that hallway scene in the Clone Wars of season 7, episode 11, bro. And oh my gosh, that scene wasn't really for kids, I would have to say, man, because he just grabs like this metal plate, bro, and just slices off the clone troopers' heads, man. I was like, dang, yeah, bro. I'm like, Star Wars is getting brutal. It's like, what?
That was a crazy scene.
It was a crazy scene, bro. It was a crazy scene. So, you gotta put him up there, bro, in the top 10, I would say. For him to come back like that and to, execute his plans, like taking over Mandalore, getting an apprentice. He, destroyed Kenobi on the inside when it came to killing Duchess Satine. You know what I mean? So like he had, some times where he won. You know what I mean? So I just like the fact that he came back and he was just killing it. So that's my list of Sith Lords.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
On your point about Darth Maul, something really interesting that Sam Witwer, the voice of Maul, said in an interview. He's talking about Darth Maul and kind of what he represents, and he gives this parallel between him and this mythological character that we've heard about. This man that is constantly pushing this boulder up the mountain, destined for it to come back on him every single time. And so basically, to Marcel's point, super strong, powerful character, but doesn't have it easy, by any means. He really struggles in his whole story, basically always facing adversity, even though he's a villain, doesn't have it easy at all. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
good point. And Maul like made his own little like cartel, right? His own little empire, mini empire too, as well.
And we could see in the future, because what is the name of that group that he was in? It was in the Solo movie.
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Yeah. Like that just shows.
We might see a show based on Crimson Dawn too, I've heard.
Oh, no way.
Really cool.
Oh, okay.
And get
see
Kira back. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll put my money down on that. Sure. Yeah. But yeah, man, you gotta give some love to Darth Maul, man. All the others you gotta give love to. You know what I mean? But Maul just hits different for me, man. He's just super cool.
Definitely. Awesome. Great list, guys. Amazing list for the Sith. I don't know what to do next, bro.
I'll take the ball from here, and we are going to sign off for just a moment. But you can catch us in part 2 of this episode over on the Sidekicks podcast channel. Again, leave your comments, guys. Let us know your top 3 Jedi and Sith, most powerful. Tell us how you've been liking this conversation. And maybe you can even respectfully say which of our picks that you didn't really care for, don't really deserve to be on the list. Tell us about it. Let's have a awesome discussion with you guys.
Yeah, it'll be a fun discussion too. Trust me.
Absolutely.
I won't argue with you guys. Seriously.
Jake, I've learned that we're not the only 2 co-hosts that have arguments, so that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been a fun time, and we're not done yet. We're going to have part 2 coming soon.